and welcome back to Blue Rising, your weekly show for all things Birmingham City. I'm Ellen Ellard.
And I'm Will Brazier. We've got a very special show lined up for you today.
We do, as always. Tommy Mooney's here. Tommy, how are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
And a very special guest today who's hit the ground running since she arrived in the January window. Wilma Leidhammar's here. Vilma, welcome into the pods. You have hit the ground running. You've been absolutely flying. 5 games, 4 goals. You couldn't ask for much more, really, could you?
No, it's been so good these first couple of weeks. The team's been so nice and I'm settling in good, so I'm happy.
I think people always forget as well, I mean, you've moved from Sweden to Birmingham. How have you settled in? What's that been like?
Yeah, good. The first couple of weeks I stayed at the hotel, not having a car, booking an Uber for every training session and stuff like that, but now everything is done, all sorted.
And recently, just back from international duty, captaining the under-23s for Sweden. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it's always nice to go away with the national team. We have a new head coach and assistant coach, so nice to meet them as well, so all happy.
Love that. In terms of Amy Merricks, what was your sort of first contact with her? How did you know the club were interested? How did it all get going?
Yeah, we arranged a call with them, with Hope and with Amy, and from the first call I instantly just fell in love with the club, honestly. The ambition and everything they told me and how they see me as a player and how they see the club and everything was so good.
Is that quite rare to be just obviously sold that dream, but then obviously for you to have the buy-in of that and you're part of the project as well now? Yeah,
of course. It's so big for me as a player to be a part of something this big as a club, and for me to be able to hop on that journey with the club is fantastic.
You're our record signing now. Tom, you went for a few transfer fees as well. What is that sort of pressure like?
Honestly, I haven't thought much about my price.
I shouldn't have brought it up actually. Sorry,
no, that's fine. It's nothing you really think about as a player. I just want to perform, want to play, and hopefully I can do that.
It's always difficult, isn't it, going into a new dressing room? Has the dressing room helped you?
Yeah, for sure.
Settle quickly, it makes the football easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. We've been so good this first couple of weeks. The team's been so nice, as I mentioned before, and we're a couple of new faces in the locker room, and I think they've made a great job in welcoming us.
The new signings, you stick together when you come in before you integrate with everybody else?
Yeah, we did. I think that's quite natural to come in, and they, as I said, it's been so nice, so it's not been hard for us.
And of course you're not the only Swedish player to have made the move over to England in the January window. It feels like so many faces that have come over from the Damallsvenskan. What's that been like, seeing this migration of Swedish players over to the English league?
It's nice. A player wants to be in England, to play professionally in England, and there is a few in the under-23 as well now that I've been talking about, and everyone is just so happy here, so I think that says a lot.
There's some huge games coming up. Obviously we'll talk about the league, but the FA Cup, Manchester City, what was that like when that name got pulled out of the hat, and how excited are you?
So nice, obviously. You want to play against the best teams in the world, and Man City is sure one of them, so it should be a good game at home as well, so all good.
Because we've had a few of those tests, I think, from the men's team as well, when we welcomed Newcastle last year and Leeds this year. Is it not a free hit because you want to win, but it's a good test for you to show what we can do as well?
It is, and also for great game for the fans to watch, and everything that we as a club is aiming towards is, it's always nice to play against the best teams.
We saw how much the home fans turned out last year for that final day clash against London City Lionesses. Obviously not going the way for Blues last year, but the occasion was so special. How have you found the home fans at St Andrews at Knighthead Park?
Yeah, so good. I love to play at home. They're being so passionate, and they help us a lot.
And the stadium? It's
so
pretty spectacular.
Nice. Yeah, it's so nice. It's the best stadium in the league for sure, and hopefully we can play in the WSL next year.
Love that. And in terms of the way you've bedded in, obviously you mentioned about the dressing room, but in terms of the way you've formed relationships with your teammates, how has that been? Because it's such a short period and there's so much to come as well.
Yeah, it is. It's. I think it's quite easy in football. You travel away, there's a lot of hours in the bus, at hotels, having dinner together and stuff like that, so I find it quite easily.
We know you score plenty of goals, but you'd love that ratio, Tommy. Five games, 4 goals. It's perfect, isn't it?
Exactly how I started. Do you think that makes it easier to not make friends because you're colleagues in the dressing room, but when they see you, what you bring to the team, I think that always helps, doesn't it? Do you feel the same? I mean, we talk about the FA Cup. Did you watch the FA Cup from afar and think, I want to play in that?
Yeah, of course. It's a classic cup, and my dad and my family is a big England fans as well, so they've been spoken about the FA Cup for.
Who do they support?
Liverpool.
Birmingham City. They do now.
Of course now.
Good.
Yeah.
In terms of the league, the run-in, we've been speaking about it from the men's team, but obviously absolutely massive run-in ahead. Are you nervous, excited, all of that all together?
Yeah, all together. Every emotion possible. Every game has to be 3 points now, the rest of the season. So obviously it's a lot of nerves, but I think we as a club and as a team know exactly what we have to do, and I think that's big for us.
And of course a big final day against the current league leaders. Are you parking that thought and just going game by game, or is it something that is, feeling now we're well into the run and very much on the horizon?
Of course you think about it, but for me as a player, and I think Amy also is very good at focusing on game by game, taking every game and every training sessions, doing the best we can do, each of them.
Do you enjoy those nerves?
I do.
Yeah,
I do. I think
sometimes, particularly people who like scoring goals, it's that nervous little tension. It brings the best out in your game, doesn't it? Do you think that that's spread throughout the dressing room?
It has, yeah. I think so, yeah. Everyone wants this, and we know what we need to do, so.
You mentioned Amy there as well, and we've got to meet her a few times now. Fantastic character. What's she like to work with on a daily basis, and how pivotal was it for you to come here as well?
Yeah, she's been huge now. She's so passionate, as I mentioned, and she wants every one of us to just maximize our performance as a team and as individuals. So she's so important for us.
When you're going off and captaining Sweden's under-23s, how much of her leadership are you taking into the way that you captain the national team? Yeah,
of course. I take every opportunity I can to be a captain, as you mentioned, but also just to be a leader as much as I can. But Amy helped a lot with that. Also,
Hope Powell here as well. Obviously, inspirational figure across the women's game as well. Was another sort of key figure for you to come here as well?
Yeah, of course. She also spoke just good things about the club, and that how every one of them chose Birmingham, and that's what I did as well. So
and just finally as well, because we speak about the running, but obviously, and the project, but you're here for the project as well. Just how much will it mean to you, hopefully, to get Blues over the line, but then obviously what's to come in the future as well?
Yeah, the main goal now is obviously to get promoted, and that's something the club has spoken about for a lot of years, I think. So be able to be here and to show my qualities and be able to get promoted would be such a big thing.
The dreams maybe of returning to the Champions League, taking Blues back up there, where of course, it was such a special thing to see Birmingham City in the very top of European football, and bringing in the January window as well players who have Champions League experience. What would it mean to, a couple of years down the line, let's say, be there in that situation like so many great players at Blues were before?
Yeah, that would be an amazing to be part of that journey and bring Birmingham up to the top level again would be so fantastic for me as an individual and for the club, of course.
Obviously you have your sort of daily stuff to do and probably get wrapped up in that, but obviously the new ownership, Karen Carney back on board, Kim Clijsters as well. What does that sort of mean to you?
Just means that the club is serious about this, about everything. So it's huge for the club, and we're so happy to have them.
Love that.
Vilma, thank you so much for your time, and best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks so much.
Now it's time for a quick whistle-stop tour of all things Blues. It's Blues News.
First up, Mother's Day is just around the corner. How about this as a way to treat the Blue Nose in your life? You can get your mum a fan stone. They're available at the club shop now.
Lovely. Put me down for one of them because I forgot to get her a card. If you've always dreamed about playing at St Andrews at Knighthead Park, it's your chance to play out your dreams. If you want to become Tommy Mooney, it's play on the pitch. Get involved with the event team and you could be recreating some fantastic goals.
Something very special happened at the stadium last week. From the 5th of March to the 9th, we welcomed Ramadan Streets.
Yes, it was a festival of food and culture curated by Soul City Arts. It was a space for all families of all backgrounds and a place to socialise as a community.
So Tommy, we are now into the final 10 games of the season. It's come around like that, firstly, but how do you see the next 9 games playing out?
Well, it is the most important part of the season, and it's what all of the players look forward to. I can assure you of that. They want an extra 3 games.
Yeah.
When you're in this position, I'm hoping there's 12 games left of the season, because that means success. Certainly, we've had a difficult spell, but when you come to this point, I mean, you weeks away from the Easter period where you're 6 points in a weekend. So everything to play for still, because it's so tight. There's so many teams. There's probably 12 teams think they've got an opportunity of promotion, whether that be automatic or through the playoffs. But we also know that through the playoffs is the best way to do it if you win it.
Well, speaking of that, you were a man that did it 24 years ago.
You're making me feel old now.
No, I wasn't trying to do that. I'm trying to make you feel great, because it was around this time 24 years ago. You'll know better than me because you were playing there. I was in the stands, but I was 10. We'd come off the back of 2 defeats, and then you, Steve, and the team all went on a run, didn't you?
Yeah, and it's about that momentum when you're going for the playoffs. It's normally the team, I think statistically, it's the team that finished 6th in the best form that go on to win through the playoffs, because you have that momentum, you have that winning dressing room that we had so many times last season, and to a certain extent this. And you've just got that confidence. You can't legislate for the things that happen at this time of the season. You can just work as hard as you can and try and tick the games off by winning them.
But what changed for you? Because currently we're on the back of 3 defeats. You had 2 defeats at around this time. Was there something you can remember that sort of changed from the manager, changed in the dressing room? Was there a sort of catalyst to change any of that?
I think probably a group of stubborn men, players, coaching staff, and it was like, this is our chance. You know, Steve had come in halfway through the season, so a few new faces came in, very similar to what we've seen in January here. That takes a little bit of adapting to, with the changes in not formation, but certainly personnel within the starting 11 or the substitutes bench, and then it's how you adapt to that. But with this stage of the season, players can see the end. So I think that's always a little bit easier from a player's mentality. If you can see the end of the season and have an opportunity of winning that medal, then that's exactly why you go to work here at Epic every day and work as hard as you can.
And when you look at some of the games in the run-in, Wrexham, Derby, of course, just outside of the top 6, but there's 3 teams in there that are in the top 6, Hull, Ipswich as well. They're going to be challenging games, and I think maybe looking at the run-in, there might be a few watching on at home who wince, but you were saying earlier it's actually something that the players will want to have, those more challenging games in there.
I think the more teams you play that are in the positions you want, then you're stopping them from winning a game when you beat them, essentially, and you need that to play catch-up. So I think, from a personal mentality, that if I remember all those years ago, Will, I would have been looking to play against those teams, because you're almost earning more than the 3 points. Because from a mindset of a winner, it's about beating the people that are above you, drag them closer to you, and then get to your goal. With
the carrot of the Premier League, was there almost like this is a chance to sort of change our careers going forward as well? Because it's not just a promotion, is it? Especially for this Birmingham side, for this club from where we've been. It's a chance to rewrite history as well, isn't it? Yeah,
very different from my time, because we'd never been in the Premier League before, and they'd had, over the previous, I think, 4 or 5 years, they'd had semi-final heartbreak, as you will remember. So a very different scenario this time around, because we've been an established Premier League team, but now we're back on the way up, almost like we were 20 odd years ago. So yes, there is similarities, but we also brought in players with Premier League experience. We've brought in players with experience, perhaps not of the Premier League, but certainly enough to get us out of this division and the football club have already shown their ambition and willingness to bring players in to fit with the division you're playing in. So hopefully we have that dilemma in the summer, but we've just got to work as hard as we can, tick those games off. Like you say, single figures now with games left, hopefully an extra 3 more. I don't subscribe to we're not going to catch them, we're not going to catch them. You don't know in the Championship. You just have to put yourself in a position so that if they slip, we capitalise on that, and you have to do that by winning games. Great opportunity now at the weekend with Sheffield United again, and then, like you say, some tough games to come, but promotion's not easy. You've got to do a lot of tough things, not just beating the opposition, but also recovering your body after game, because they come around so quickly. It's not easy to get promotion, but it's attainable.
It is a squad game. We've got an amazing squad here, but especially back to your side as well, will it be important to get in a rhythm of having that sort of best 11, those substitutes in and around that, just to sort of, I don't know, I feel like when we've had successful sides in the past, we could sort of name that 11 from start to finish. Yeah,
I think it's up to the players to establish themselves as I'm the best in this position, and then that makes the manager's job easier to pick the team, and certainly the players will expect a winning team rarely changes. Mm-hmm. So if you're on that run, the team's almost picking itself. I knew during my time that I was coming off after 70, 75 minutes and Stan Lazaridis was coming on. It happened in every game. And I was fine with that, because that was my part to play in the team. And various other personalities had similar roles. And it's about establishing that now, but it's down to the players to say, I'm the best gaffer, get me in the team. And the ones that are working to get in the team drive the others on. And it is a squad game, more so than ever. It's a squad game, but it's about that starting 11. Start the game well, and then whoever finishes in the team on the pitch, they finish it well.
Well, we see them all, of course, here at Epic, working incredibly hard on and off the pitch, and of course the manager integral to that. What will his instructions be for these next 9 games?
It'll be a very similar message. It'll just be about there's a clock ticking in the background. Do you want to start next season as a Championship player or a Premier League player? Because that is a huge carrot.
Is that almost on some of their careers as well, to a point as well? Because, you know, we've had a lot of players come in, we've had a lot of players go out, but he'll want to know, if it isn't promotion this season, we are setting up to be promoted next season as well.
I was always told people are making decisions on you every day.
Right.
Whether that's on the training pitch or on a match pitch, people are making decisions, whether that's the manager, the ownership. Everybody is facing that scenario. So you've got to impress every day of the week. And that can only be done with hard work and natural talent on the pitch here at Epic, and then St Andrews at Knighthead Park, or wherever we go on the Birmingham City Roadshow, and the supporters will certainly sell every seat. So it's an amazing ride. I'm looking forward to it.
Love that. It was an amazing ride. If you were on the Thames on that boat at the weekend, I didn't get myself on that one, but that was absolutely fantastic. You're speaking about the future. We're speaking about the future.
Indeed.
It's been 100 days since the initial plans were unveiled for our new home, Ellen. That's flown by.
It has been very, very quick and very, very exciting what the future has in store. And we've got a special recap of the last 100 days. Nick Smith has been down to visit Heatherwick Studio and look at the progress and the vision for what's to come for the new stadium.
It's been 100 days since we were finished the design competition, and we're well into the detail of design development. We've been working on some really, really cool ideas and developing everything to do with the stadium and the experience that goes around it.
Good to be back. 100 days. Pride of place.
You got the baby,
of course,
pride of place.
Yeah, of course. We're just. It's also good to have all the tests, and because we're in the thick of trying to work out how should we make these incredible brick towers. Yeah. And also, the city planners quite rightly are also talking about Tolkien as well as influences, not just. So there's opportunities in the detailing to do really amazing things.
And these were all the kind of iterations that you went through?
These were when we were model making as well. Sometimes models help you with your designing as well. Yeah. When you're designing a model and thinking about how you can present an idea, it also helps you get your head clear about what do we actually want to do in the real thing as well. So this is all a work in progress.
But when people see a model and a scale like that, they don't appreciate the size of these buildings in real life and how massive they really are. And when you see the people to scale, even on the model, and you realize that these people are interacting with the building and how important it is to make sure that, at that place, how are we going to use it every single day? How is the community going to benefit from it every single day? How, when they arrive, and they're not scared to touch it and feel it and embrace it and come and work and live and play and have fun. And of course all the event experiences are part of what we're trying to achieve, but it's that day to day, how does our community truly engage with thing? And I think it'll be the success of what we do.
The stadium's the size of the biggest warehouse the world's ever seen, and you don't feel good next to gigantic warehouses.
Yeah.
So the question was how to bring the scale down and to a human scale and to make people feel good. And I think that's what we're really excited about. And the planners are good on that as well.
They are.
So I think we've got a kind of dream team in that.
Yeah, I know we're all aligned on that, and there's a lot of work to do. But it's the early designs are coming to fruition. Tom's seen them. We love the early phases of the design, and we're so excited about how that kind of evolves. And as you said, the council have already started to kind of engage and embrace a lot of your early designs.
I was really happy to hear Tom likes the ground floor as well. It's good. It's really good.
It's like a hive of activity here.
Yeah, we've got the whole team working away.
Yeah.
It's been a busy few few weeks and months.
It has, since the new year.
Yeah. Number one, we've spent a lot of time building, I think, a pretty incredible team. So obviously at the competition stage, we had a very lean team just working on getting that very first seeds of the idea together that we got to share with everybody. But now it's about delivering. Now it's about making it real. And to do that, it's like a big team.
So hi, I'm Anna.
My name is Dirce.
Hi, I'm Neil.
Hi, I'm Joe.
I'm working here, as you can see, in this amazing stadium.
And working on the interior experience.
And I'm primarily looking at how the stadium works.
And I'm designing a hospitality building.
We've reset out the whole bowl. It's steeper, a little bit taller. I think it's going to be even more intimidating, even more of a cauldron of football. So that's been great. But then on the outside of the building, we've also had our first couple of meetings with the planners and really thinking about how the building meets the community, how it brings that ground floor to life. Loads of experiments you can see with, bricks, finding what kind of brick stock we have around, starting to think about really how those chimneys or the brick towers work with the retail units and how that materiality can really infuse that whole ground floor experience.
In the last 100 days, we've been growing a lot in the size of the team, but also getting all the engineers on board, working closer with the master planners and the city council, which means that we are aligning and making sure that the stadium is not a self-standing building, but it's actually stitched into the neighborhood. So we're working on these details, as well as a lot of really boring conversations about the column grids, because it's quite complicated to actually get aligned the outside of the building with the inside of the building, and making sure that all the engineering complexities like the openable roof, the pitch that's moving are there, because these mechanisms are crazy.
But this is what I love about you guys. Like, it's just not one and done. You've got like 6 or 7 different
Sometimes
types of
I wish
arches.
it was one and done.
But like you've tried in so many different ways, and you could pick it up and touch and feel it and see how it works.
I mean, we're talking hundreds of meters of facade, and however brilliant the design of a 6-meter stretch of it could be, you do that 100 times and it gets pretty boring. And part of the reason we experiment to this degree, and we really do obsess about that sort of detail of the number of steps that you might have in the brickwork, is actually as you walk around this building, we want there to be different feeling experiences that respond to the different faces of the building and the different communities that they look onto, or the master plan or blue square. And so for us, it's really important to sort of look at a really big breadth of options. You learn something from each one, and then you figure out how you can kind of put those together to make hopefully somewhere that feels super vibrant. Should we jump into the meeting room and we can walk through the latest designs and see where we're at?
Let's get on with it.
Recently, we've been taking a look at some of the behind-the-scenes aspects of the club, and who better to follow along than the Director of Operations, Rich Carpenter.
Yeah, there was a lot to chat about: fans, match days, and what's to come in the future.
Let's take a look.
You might not see a lot of that from behind the scenes. The local authorities will clamp down on us. They have the ability to reduce our capacity. 6 games to go. We really need every Blue Nose coming to St Andrews. So my name's Rich Carpenter, Director of Operations here at Birmingham City Football Club. My roles cover everything you see on a match day, basically. So match day safety, catering operations, cleaning, security, pitch, and I've been doing that role now since August. I've spent the best part of 15 years working within professional football and other stadium environments across the country. As we know, the club have invested heavily into St Andrews and the wider facilities. It's really important for us that fans attending St Andrews on a match day, we've got several touch points on that user journey that's really important to us. Everything from a car park steward to a search steward, turnstile operator, kiosk member of staff, cleaning team making sure the areas are tidy and your seats are very clean, are all essential part of making sure that supporters come in to the stadium with that positive energy to transfer that onto the pitch.
And how important is it that we maintain that both on and off the pitch and make sure that we do it in the right way?
It's really important. Like, we really rely on, you know, a packed St Andrews and the support and everyone being well behaved in that process. Yes, we want people to be energised, we want people to transfer that positive atmosphere into the playing style, but we also need people to make sure they don't step across the line. We're all about promoting fan enhancements and that positive atmosphere, but sometimes and in the past we have had issues where supporters have crossed that line and we have to deal with that.
And a key part of our success, especially here at St Andrews over the past 2 seasons, has been our incredible home form. So we really want the passion from the stands to translate onto the pitch, but in a positive manner.
Exactly that. It's really important. Like you say, we're the 12th man and we rely on every single Blue Nose in this stadium to make sure they transfer that positive energy onto the pitch. Being well behaved helps keep stewarding costs and policing costs down, but ultimately provides that overall match day experience for every generation of Blue Nose that's coming to St Andrews.
Now let's take a step back in time, a time before Tommy Mooney had hair, even before that, if you can imagine it. We sat down with club historian Malcolm McHenry, who chatted through Blues' first ever game. Were you playing?
I was sub.
Here we are, the birthplace.
There's always going to be that speculation.
What do we know about it? So do you think it might be true, or is there a chance that first game really was a group of mates from Small Heath?
And they would have been the predominant sports that dominated the area.
Stories about brothers refused to let the club play there because they didn't want their pitch ruining. If it's still the City of Birmingham Football Club, but it wasn't as simple as that, was it? Morning, Mark. Here we are in the Garrison, and we're really here to talk about the first game and maybe what led up to the first game and how the first game went. But I think my first question would be, even though the first game was 1875, it looks like things could have happened in the 1860s with the Sheffield Works on the Coventry Road.
Yeah, thank you, Malcolm. There was a lot of, the industry was really good around Small Heath. So we had the Sheffield Steel Works around the time, based on the Coventry Road. So a lot of families came down from the north, and that's evident in the first lineup with the James brothers from Rotherham, and you got David Keyes down from Scotland as well.
So it's a total mixture of players from here, those who've been maybe around Sheffield, Rotherham. You've then got, they all went to the same church.
Yeah.
Here we are,
yeah.
The church, the birthplace. What do we know about it?
The church itself, I believe, was opened in the probably late 1820s, as early as that. It's a Gothic style church, and it was a central focus point for the community of Small Heath to obviously come for a place of worship.
Yeah.
So this would have been where everybody met on a Sunday afternoon, and they would have got to know each other, and obviously that's when the sports started
church social club, really.
Yeah. So Arthur Wright played for Trinity United originally, and Arthur Henry Wright is one of the original players who played for Small Heath Alliance.
And of course the real beauty is you've got this, we've got Munt Street, we've got St Andrews, and we've got the Powerhouse.
Yeah.
All within a square mile, really. So it's all here, not out of town stuff. It's still the City of Birmingham Football Club. So this is Mount Pleasant Mark.
Yeah.
So we're adjacent to Arthur Street.
Yeah.
Stories about brothers.
Yeah, so interestingly, the Eden brothers, 3 of the founding members of the club, were actually living on Mount Pleasant at the time at number 9. Billy Eden was very well known around the region for his fantastic goalkeeping skills. And as you know, Birmingham City have had a massive history of strong goalkeepers. He was one of the first to play for the Birmingham County FA.
So why did what was the Trinity Church Cricket Club become Small Heath Cricket Club?
Trinity United was the official team that we believe was linked to the Holy Trinity Church. In July 1875, there was a rearranged match, which they never turned out to, and we can't find any records from thereafter. With some of the players in Trinity United, it is believed that it was kind of like they moved across and they formed Small Heath Alliance around that period.
So we then get to November 1875.
Yeah.
And there's no definite date for the game, is there? But it seems things happened on the 20th. There was the Birmingham-Sheffield game, and what happened on the 20th, and how can we think it's the 27th?
So the 20th is significant for football around the Birmingham area. There was a District 11, not associated with the Birmingham FA because they hadn't formed until December. So it was a District 11 who went up to Sheffield to play a Sheffield District 11. The Sheffielders won 6-0, so Birmingham were absolutely trounced, which kind of probably been the catalyst to association football.
So we played the game in November.
Yeah.
There's then not a lot mentioned until March when we played the return game.
Yeah. The return game is actually recorded in March of 1876, and it does state it's a return against Aston Holt Wanderers. Holt Wanderers being from the Aston area, and it was played at Aston Park, which was their home ground up until at least 1882 before they disbanded.
So do you think it might be true, or is there a chance that first game really was a group of mates from Small Heath playing a group of mates from the Witten area?
I actually
simple
believe,
as that?
yes I do, yeah. I believe that both teams, it was their first game of football for both Aston Holt Wanderers and Small Heath Alliance at the time.
So full disclosure, owing to Will's very busy schedule, we're actually filming on Wednesday afternoon. So tonight, yesterday, a big night in the Championship as QPR travel to St Andrews at Knighthead Park.
Yeah, the team have asked me to cover off all score predictions, so I'm going for 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, 7-0.
Let's watch the highlights.
8-0.
Goals are being hard to come by at QPR to buck the trend of a decade of mid-table finishes in the Championship. And a boost on the road here at St Andrews. As the throw-in from deep from Mbenge is picked up by Osman through the legs of Mbenge, driving towards the byline. Osman's been nice and bright early on, and he tees up Patrick Roberts in the middle. And Blues have the early breakthrough, and just what was needed to fuel the blue belief around this place. Ibrahim Osman, bright early on, dancing down the left-hand side again, pulls the ball back towards the penalty spot, and Patrick Roberts on the spot to sweep home the opener. It's a decent delivery, and Clara was arriving around the back, and his acrobatics virtually on the goal line from Mbenge, which allow Walsh to come out and claim back. The only thing standing between Blues and a 2-goal buffer inside the opening 13 minutes. Fifth corner of the game. Was seeking it. In it comes, it's off the post. And Sato can clear away. Well, it was a bundle of Blues bodies who rose to meet it above the green and white sea of QPR defenders. Hazardous scoreline. As Damare Gray barreling through. He's got Vicente up with him. Carlos Vicente inside the penalty area. Great first touch. And the finish is just over the crossbar via a deflection.
On his right foot, but just didn't connect with it.
Vale flashed across the 6-yard box. And it was Kone looking to keep it alive at the far post. Still we play. Done. Felt he was being held, and that's that. There goes the full-time whistle.
Right then, Tom, how about that? Right up them. First half, we were absolutely phenomenal, weren't we? Creating chances. Second half, it was there. We kept it calm. We've got the 3 points. I'm buzzing. How about you?
All we talk about is winning games, Will, isn't it? A little bit nervy at the end.
Yep.
Everybody was a little bit nervy. Chris, you could see he was doing them steps in the technical area, the crowd a little bit, but it's about winning games. 3 points, seeing it out, and it leads on nicely to Saturday now.
Yeah, it felt a little bit for me, a little bit like last season. Everyone was in their positions, everyone was playing well, everyone was at it. We got over the line, we got the 3 points. Promotion, playoffs, still on the line. How about that?
Well, 9 games left now, isn't there?
Yeah.
Hopefully 12, you never know. But certainly, we put ourselves in a position where Saturday now matters, and then we go on, and we go on again.
Yes, get yourself here on Saturday, St Andrews at Knighthead Park. This has been Blue Rising today. A massive shout out to Ellen Ellard, of course. Wilma Leidhammar, massive shout out to you.
Thank you.
Should we go for a drink?
No, I'm going home and I'm not taking you with me.
All right, looks like I'm on my own. Keep right on.